Alright, so we're in new farmer mode, and this is where we start. Now, this is nothing like the map that I just spent almost 9 hours redoing, but you start on the new player farm right here. Got some silos, and then right next door to it is the new farmer mode. No gravel, it's all grass. Few buildings. I don't know if there's any equipment in here or not. When we started on new farmer mode, I don't think there's any equipment. There might be. Nope. Alright. So you start with nothing. Anyway. And it's got a lime sell point and farmer's market. Alright. So going to the P80 here. There is no town. There's nothing on this map. And that's kind of what I liked about it. I mean, when I say nothing, no town, no houses, nothing. So, but there are a whole bunch of productions. You can see them all blinking. You know, there's there are no. So you got some tip stations of various types blinking, loading stations, various places blinking, productions blinking. No animals, no contracts. Alright, so you know, if you look at the tip stations, you got train there. I think that's the only train. That's the only train point. That's the only loading point for the train. We're just kind of going down the line. You got some distributor silos. Oh, there's a rented train, so there's two places for train. Yeah, there's a cafe. There's various stuff spread out throughout here. Like there's a Dollar General over here. I thought there was a gas station somewhere on this road. Maybe not. Guess not. But over here you've got local trader, and up top you've got a animal dealer up there. General store over here. You got a Dollar General there. You've got a rented train. You got Grain West silos here. You got a big warehouse there. And that's about it. So, biggest field is this 158 acre here. And you got another one over here. It's 65. And you got another big one up here that's 100 acres, 74 acres, 66 acres. Those are your biggest ones. And you got the river. So, lots of fields, various sizes. Kind of, it's one of the things I liked about the map because I could do stuff with it. And add stuff to the map without screwing them. And it had road system. So when I look at a map, when I make my maps for my role-playing games, I look for the roads. I look for some. I like having a city to start with. And I can expand on it. But something appealed to me about this map was the major roads that were paved, kind of in sections, like in real life. You know, they're mapped out in sections, not just randomly scattered all over the place. If you're familiar with the section concept of farming. A lot of land is laid out in a section, which, what is a section? 360 acres. It's basically a square mile, mile by mile by mile. So a lot of places in Kansas, the roads are all laid out in miles and sections. So this is pretty close. So that's U.S. flat acres. Very typical of Kansas. This one does have a river running through it, which is what I like because it kind of fell in with the role playing I wanted to do for the new map. So, yeah. So U.S. flat acres 4X. Now we're going to go to my version U.S. flat acres where I've added stuff to it. So, be right back. Alright, we're back. Farm cat decided she wanted some attention, so she crawled up here so she could get some loving from me. She don't really like to be held. Yep, it's one of those things. She climbs up and wants attention, wants you to pet her, but doesn't want you to hold her. Anyway, so U.S. flat acres 4X modified Kansas farm guy style. So as you can see, there's a little bit more on it than previously. Here we go. So tipping stations, a lot more tipping stations, a lot more loading stations, a lot more productions. It's got some animals, and we got others. So, others. So, I've been slowly moving my way through Kansas towards Kansas City area, where my Fairmont 4X that I'm building in Giants Editor is really located. And if you've seen that video, my map is based on a live location, live town. The terrain is exactly the same. Go watch that video if you want to take a look at it. So where we are at, where I'm portraying anyway, is east of Manhattan, Kansas. And just to give you an idea where we're at here. This is Kansas. Well, you can't really see it. But there's Manhattan. There. Right there. Topeka, Kansas City. And Fairmont is... Gotta find it. Well, shit. Oh, too far east. Fairmont is right there. So this, if you've seen the Fairmont video, this is the area where I'm making my map on. Kind of just the screen here. Kansas City back over here. And our current map down here. Follow the river, and Zendale. Where are you, Zendale? Oh, let me go. Not far enough. Zendale. Zendale is a real town. It's like 8-9 houses, and volunteer fire station. There's a big quarry. Rock quarry over here, Hayden Quarry. But Zendale is not very big. But the Kansas River goes right by it. You can see that there. And that's kind of what the 4X map is like, except on my map, the river is to the right side of the map. So, as you can see, the river goes north and south on this map. So, somewhat portraying Zendale. But, what have I done different? Well, I've added a town. I've added some farms. That's a dealer, sorry. Farm. My farm. Another dealer. Another farm. The starting farm is a farm. Dun, dun, dun. Where's that little farm? Little farm there. Yeah, that's about it. So there's like three. I've added like 3 farms. But I've added some other things. Like this is a rock quarry. And we'll go do a flyby of it in here a second. So, I am on my farm. My new farm. And it is raining. So let's shut the rain off. Sunny. Alright. Turn on flight mode. Speed up our running multiplier so we can fly faster. Alright, so there's the river. This is my farm area. There's the road. And here's the farm. So, same house as I had in, well, you didn't see this house. This was in the new redone Courtright map, but I liked it. We have our coffee factory again with 4 greenhouses now. Some of the sheds that I've used before previously. This is a new shed. I've used this shed and I've used this shop. My fertilizer, bulk storage, equipment, my dairy cow barn. I added a big shed for headers. And this is kind of there's my TMR production, my stab silo for converting chaff to silage. Bulk, another little bulk bin, and my regular bin, sheep and chickens, my big hay barn, our fertilizer barn we did, and we added a seed production facility. And then we scaled our gardens down to just 1. So, yeah. And I think I might have went over this house. I think I did. This is one of Squiggle's house. Think snake bizzle. I got a lot of snake bizzle stuff. I mean, I've said it before. The guy is just phenomenal for mods, but it's I don't know where it's at. It's in farmhouses somewhere, I think. But anyway, we're here to go over the map. So we're going to go off to the right over here. So there's nothing over here but fields. But there is a couple things here. So we're going to go over here and take a look. Oh crap, I forgot to do the Kubota place. So before we get started, I'll do the Kubota. But that's going to be the Kubota dealer. Here's the Fent dealer. I'm using an Agco shop that I found. This is a dairy. This was on the map as a map production. And then we have a grain mill down here. Oh, this is the concrete plant. Sorry. Yeah. This is the grain mill down here in the corner. I wonder why it's not showing up. Oh, I don't have productions on. Ha! There we go. Yeah, sugar mill. Sorry. And this is the cement factory. And then the dairy. And then over here past the cement factory. And I didn't put any vehicles in here. There's a standard store there. Moving up the map. This is one of the farmers. He is a Case farmer, Case IH farmer, dairy farmer, big dairy barn. He owns all the farm ground right in there, top to bottom. Right side of the river to right above 123 here. Actually, he got this whole side up there. So, got a lot of ground. Everything on the right side of the river. Alright. So, over here, this is the grain mill. There's a gas station. So the Flat Acres 3X that I used was one somebody had modified a little bit. They put in some productions, and I don't even remember who I got it from. But yeah, so it's a little different than the base map, which I loaded up separate. So I'm not sure how that happened, but it happened. And over here, we have carpenter shop. And at the top up there over here, oh, I see that this is supposed to be the livestock dealer, and there's no livestock barn. So I'll have to fix that. I haven't actually been up this side of the map, so I'll have to fix that. Now, you can see that the outside of the map is kind of hilly. The other reason I like this is because this is very typical Flint Hills, Kansas. You got glacier hills where eons ago glacier came through down into Kansas and created the Flint Hills. And the Flint Hills go all the way from mid-central Kansas all the way down almost through Emporia. If you look on a map, Flint Hills is not flat, folks. So this is pretty kind of typical. You get some areas where there's a lot of flat space, kind of in a valley type, and then you've got pasture ground in the hills kind of surrounding it. So that's kind of another reason why I like that. Alright, so what you got here is Preserved Food Factory. And then going down here, you have distributor silos for the railroad and a potato processing plant. And then I think this is, it's a brewery. Yeah, it's a Yingling brewery. And then this was the starter farm, and I turned it into a kind of another grain elevator place. Alright, so we have another little farmer. This is an old farmer using some older John Deere equipment. He is right across the street from Aunt Rita's Bakery. And there's a mustard production plant up there. I didn't. Yeah. Somewhere. There it is. So this has a little bit extra stuff. And then I added, there was a building here. I deleted. I was going to put a farm in here, but I didn't want to have to put this in headers, take the fence out. So I put in this to stone production. Basically piles up stone. And I made it into a rock quarry. So, yeah. The one hill, not part of the big hills, but stone formation, limestone formation that they're creating gravel and stone from. So yeah, that's the company doing that. Saving content. Sorry. We're already at 15 minutes and plus 5 minutes for the other, so I don't want to get too much too more, but going south. Another grain mill. There's a bio plant over there, and then this is my town that I created. That right over there is sawmill, and south of that, down there where those trees are, is a general store. So this is my town. Diallo gas station. This is Agrivision, and instead of being a tractor like in my Courtright videos, Agrivision was a Fendt dealer. They are just a farm equipment dealer, a mix of different types of farm accessory. You got some sprayers, some forage wagons, trucks, big trucks, straight trucks, forklifts, and heavy equipment repair. All right. Next thing you got is county shop. A few vehicles in there. Fire station, and then kind of the part of the co-op, which is part of the grain, big major elevators there, but they've got their fertilizer seed stuff in here. Our wholesale lumber type place. Little cafe back over here. Here's the Case dealer. Case New Holland dealer back behind. What was this? I forget what this was. Oh, this is the cleaners. Alright, so cleaners, farmer's market. We got a Dairy Queen, gas station. We got Henry's Tire Shop. We've got another cleaners over here. We got a sharp repair shop. We got a what were these guys? I forget what everybody was. Okay, the village shop. We got wholesale food store. We got an AutoZone. We got a hotel. And look. Uh-oh, where'd all my peoples go? I had little peoples. All my peoples are gone. Well, these peoples are here. Some of my peoples are gone. I'll have to figure that out. Then we got Dollar General again. Then we got housing, some apartments. This is all housing over here. And then high school, junior high, and an elementary school and their football field. And then back here is the John Deere dealer. You can see the John Deere dealer and the grain elevator, which is part of the co-op, and then a John Deere farmer over here who's got some beef cattle. The co-op has a working sprayer. This is kind of cool. I like having aircraft. Not lined up very good, but here we go. So I can load it up with spray and I can spray. Somehow we're outside the cockpit. It behaves more like a helicopter than it does a plane, but it's still kind of cool. I'm getting better at it. There we go. So kind of cool. And you got the train. Pretty decent little train. They got a few cars on it. I like the sound. It sounds like a real train, not like an electric train. So there we go. So campers, that is our Zendale map using US Flatlands 4X. So episode 1 is Zendale, Kansas, episode 1, coming soon. Hit that like and subscribe. We'll see you later.